afternoon, Salome B here, and today I want to talk about Quantasia Sharpton and Lisa Bloom coming out stating that, making a statement that Quantasia is actually not telling the truth about the Usher case. Okay, so I reserved my opinion until now because I didn't know what I was feeling about her. I had to keep on being exposed to her. So I am a vivid watcher of Jacob Kiner, and I watched Tasha K. Well, Tasha K was reading Quantasia Sharpton, telling her she was a liar because of the way that she was acting when she was interviewed and the way that she did the press conference. Well, Jacob went into more extensive questions with her, and I'm going to post it down in the link. And I have an article for you guys, too, to check out psychological or psychopathical liars or compulsive lying, because pathological lying and compulsive lying is the same thing. Okay, so, well, Tasha K read her and told her she needed to stop lying and things of that nature, which some of us already knew she was lying. Like when I first saw the press conference with Quantasia Sharpton, and I'm going to put that down in the link too because I want you to go back and analyze this person. Okay. She basically told Quantasia that she needs to stop lying. And she said that Quantasia was using the oldest tactics that politicians use. Like when a person asks you a question, you ask them a question to evade the truth or to get around telling details, because a pathological liar doesn't give too many details because they can't remember them. Details are evidence or explanations that lead up to evidence that this person is either telling the truth or they're lying. Because when you observe details, you basically can say, well, is this known into reality? Can you see it in reality? Can it be scientifically proved? If not, it's not reality. And that person is probably delusional. So they got down to the point that Quantasia was delusional. And I guess her lawyer, Lisa Bloom, heard the interview because TMZ got a hold to the interview, and she dropped Quantasia Sharpton from her case because Lisa Bloom cannot tell the difference between pathological lying and real liars. But I will say this, Lisa Bloom could not tell the difference because pathological lying is a trait that lawyers have to cover the truth. So if Quantasia is a pathological liar and Lisa Bloom is already a lawyer, which is, people refer to them as liars, then how would another liar recognize another liar? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get into all of that. Anyway, so I have an article that is going to back up why I believe that Quantasia was lying from the get-go. The first 5 minutes of that press conference, I knew she was lying. And I knew she was lying because of the way her eyes was looking. I knew she was crazy because of the way her eyes were looking. She had this blank stare. If you look at my eyes, she had this blank stare. And she was relaxed. And she was talking very slow. That's what pathological liars do when they want you to believe in their truth. They don't flinch. They relax. They lie with confidence. This is why everybody believes them. Because they don't switch. They don't do what normal liars do. Normal liars, if they don't have normal lying behavior. Like when somebody's lying, they either rub their eye or they shift in their seat or they, look away or whatever. She didn't do any of that. Pathological lying comes with a disorder. So more than likely this girl has some type of histrionic disorder, or either she's borderline or she's narcissistic. And narcissism cannot be cured by a psychologist. It has to be cured by God, and going to God and asking for the truth, because God can only convey the truth and put the truth on your lips. And she don't have the truth in her because she's already, going down the wrong path. Anyway, so Wikipedia says pathological lying is a behavior of habitual or compulsive lying. In 1891, medical literature, it's extensive and very complicated. Individuals may be lying to make their lives more exciting than in reality they believe their lives are unpleasant or boring. Okay, Quantasia Sharpton's mother was in prison, from what she says. They have some prison pictures out there floating around of her. She claims that she was adopted. So when a person goes through that type of behavior issues and crisis, they will probably lie because they don't want people to know in reality that they've been abandoned or whatever. This girl probably is suffering from a lot of abandonment issues because she hasn't had her mother. Now, when a child has not had their mother, it's a big impact on them than it is by them not having their father. And I know because my mother, she was born without her mother. And my mother has been sick her whole life because she never had her mother. So she had a lot of battles and trials and tribulations to learn, and she didn't know how to nurture correctly because she didn't have her mother. Okay, so Quantasia Sharpton is suffering from the fact that she's been separated from her mother. So that will cause a person to develop some type of lying or some type of disorder. They have the fabricating tendency is chronic. It's not provoked. It is a part of character. So pathological lying is like a drug. It's like an addiction. And they feel good telling a lie. So when you go back and look at Quantasia Sharpton's interview or press conference with Lisa Bloom, she had no remorse for lying. She had that blank stare, and she was talking, and she was confident because she felt good doing that. And they have a routine of telling lies. Now, she has a timeline on Twitter or Instagram with different celebrities that she took pictures with, and she lied about being in a relationship with all of them. Pathological lying. She has a timeline, a pattern of lying. A pattern of lying. Now, there's 6 characters dealing with a pathological lying disorder. You got narcissism, self-centered behaviors, thought patterns, selfishness, abusive attitude, obsessive, controlling and compulsive behaviors, aggressiveness, jealousy, impulsivity, manipulative behavior, deceptiveness, social, awkward, uncomfortable, or isolated. Excuse me. Low self-esteem, temperamentness, and anger. Now, one of these characteristics stood out: social awkwardness. Now, Quantasia she's probably about 300 and some pounds. And she says she's not ashamed of her weight, but the way that she talks about her weight, you can tell that she always starts off with, I've always been talked about being heavy. So I don't care about anything. I don't care about anything. Impulsivity. She doesn't care about anything. She does. That's one of the traits. Deceptiveness. Lying. That's what she does. Self-centered. Now, when Jacob asked Quantasia, did she think about Usher and his family? She said no. Why would I think about him and his family? That gave it away. Now, pathological liars will study you. They do not want you to know the truth. They show no emotion. They don't do all the common things that liars do. So this is why they're able to pass under the radar. And pathological liars can pass lie detector tests. This is why the lie detector does not work, because you have people who have this disorder that can pass lie detector tests. Because in order to be a compulsive pathological liar, you have to be self-deceptive. You have to lie to yourself first because you believe the lie that you're telling. So this is why the lie feels good, because you believe it. And they become a pro at manipulation. Now, on one of Quantasia Sharpton's videos that she was talking to her friend, she was saying that, I do this. This is what I do. I scam people, or I do this. I'm good at manipulation. She's a pro at it. So these are the 6 characteristics of pathological liars. And my take on the whole Jacob Kohinoor interview and Tasha K interview with Quantasia Sharpton, it got to the truth for me to understand that she is a pathological liar, and it goes hand in hand with her not being in connection with her mother, and she has a lot to hide because she doesn't know herself, and therefore this girl is not telling the truth. She needs to be somewhere where she's seeing a psychologist to talk about her life and sort out her problems. So my judgment today is that Quantasia Sharpton was lying in the beginning, and she's lying now. And it's due to the fact of she may be having some underlying disorder of narcissism, histrionic personality, or borderline disorder, or something like that. So this is my take on the Jacob Kohinoor interview with Quantasia Sharpton and Tasha K. Salome B. Have a nice day.